So Sylvie made it. Hello, Sylvie. Welcome. Well, the bot's connected and the chat thingy is connected. Yes, we do. Victor is a member now. Yeah, I had to actually update the video thing that I used to thank everybody. So that was that's a nice thing to have to do. There's something new with the vertical stream. It says auto it has a drop down arrow, but I had started the stream before trying to see what the auto thing was. So I'm kind of curious. Maybe we have vertical this week. I don't know. Hey, no worries, my new craft. Glad you could make it. It's also weird that the vertical stream is like seconds ahead of the regular stream. It's all very confusing. I got like 3 different sets of numbers counting down. Right on, right on. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And wait a second, I don't have all the lights on. See how much better that looks with the light on? Yeah, apparently I'm not quite awake. We are back to the redacted soda can thing. Happily already sent out the other project. It's on its way. Victor should get that probably in about a week's time, I would guess. We'll see. Never can tell with these things. I am joined tonight by my lovely wife, Mandy. And yeah, I'm kind of glad to be back to doing something easy. Something I don't have to think quite so much about. But that said, I've been chatting with members about the possibility of doing some more complicated things that get released out in the future. Like basically, I do my daily videos like normal, and then in between the times and stuff, like how I did that other bag, I do some more complex stuff and teach how to do things that apparently come natural to me, but like aren't necessarily coming natural to other people. So it could be a fun set of projects. We did something similar. Was it last year where we did the ornaments? Seems like it was either last year or the year before. I did Christmas ornaments out of knots.
I think it's
No, it had to be
the year
before. Had to be the year before because we pulled out the ornaments this year to do to hang up and decorate. Yeah, so it was the year before. But like I was starting on those at like the beginning of the year before that, and like posting them up as November videos, like so far ahead. And yeah, it turned out pretty cool. That was kind of neat. It gives the members something to kind of brag about, that they get to see these videos so far in advance. So yeah, right. Yeah, I know I'm coming up on the anniversary for the big project, and I've already lost track of how many years it's been since that's been done with. I want to say we were working on it in 2020, I think. But I'm not, because I know that a lot of that was during the lockdowns and stuff that was happening from COVID. So it got finished on May 1st of something. I don't know what year. '21, I presume. So that'd make it 5 years, the five-year anniversary. Wow.
That's crazy.
It is. I love the fact that the project finished on Labor Day, because it was a lot of labor. For years? Wow. Was it 3? 6? Is that the video I put out after I finished it? I guess.
I guess, but Was it really only 3 years ago?
That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it was 2021.
Yeah, so I thought. Did I just do a wrap up video like way after it, the whole thing?
The wrap up video was dated August 2022.
Yeah, that's could have been like going through all of the images and everything else and making a video. Every once in a while, I like to kind of
But the
take it
project
easy
page
and
on the website was 2021 August.
right. Hey, Rainbow. Wait, I was working on it in August of 2021.
No, the web page.
Oh. Yeah, I heard Canada is going to put an end to the daylight savings, despite the fact that America isn't. It's going to cause all kinds of trouble, but they're just tired of waiting for them to make up their mind. Right. So Rainbow might remember what year was it that we finished the big project? Yeah. That's a weird thing about America. It seems like one president says, no, we're not going to do something. The next one comes along and says, yes, we are. And then it just keeps flipping back and forth, which makes it completely unreliable for anybody to do any kind of business with, which is just dumb. Yeah, so we don't have daylight savings because we're right next to the equator. So while you guys are experiencing this time change or whatever, we don't have that here. It wouldn't make any sense. The longest day and the shortest day of the year are only about 30 minutes difference in daylight. Yeah, I know that it took 9 months and that it ended on May 1st. Those are and it took 866 springs across and 877 skeins estimated of floss. Right. Hmm. Hey, wait, something just happened. Somebody resubscribed? Is hang on. Was that becoming a
Somebody subscribe
member?
to the channel. No, subscribed, not joined.
So why did it say resubscribed? You had to go like look that
No,
up.
it didn't. It just said subscribed.
In my headphones, it said something different. I thought,
That's a name lah.
oh, well, that's cool. We're heading up to 4,000 subscribers, which I think is pretty amazing. I think you're just making stuff up now. Just spin this around a little bit. So while I'm working on this, I'm actually like playing with some math numbers in my head, trying to figure out if I do a bag that has straps on the side and has like a little latch type bracelet that comes over the top to button it down, like what kind of numbers do I need for strings to produce it? So that's why I'm a little bit quiet. I'm so deep in thought. Oh my God. I blame my newt craft. My newt craft got me started on this whole idea of doing videos that show some complicated stuff pattern wise and making wise. So if you go with 5 in the front, 5 in the back, that's 10, and 2 on the sides, that's 12. That's bigger than the phone bag I recently did. If you do 3, 6, 7, 8, 8 would work. Yeah. So yeah. So I could do it with 8, where there's, is it 8? 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I could do it with 8. So 8 represents the number of repeating patterns is in the bracelet, like how many bracelets wide overall it would be. So, but the question is, we did that zigzag phone bag. That one had 10. So I don't know if you drop off 2 of them, if it's big enough to actually hold a phone, or if it just becomes too small, to be practical. I mean, it would be. Here, hang on. Let me grab that other bag and show you what I'm talking about. So this had 10 loops on it. So yeah, I guess it would still hold a phone if we drop 2 off. It's going to be a little bit weird because it would get more of a boxy shape to itself. So I don't know. If you look at a lot of the bags I made back when, like if you go to my website and then you go into portfolio and then sort it to Rapunzel and take a look at the bags, like some of the older bags, like I really did try a lot of different types of closures and things to that extent. Try to dream up whatever craziness I could think of. But I'm not sure if a lot of those actually ever made it into any of the tutorials or anything. Like I was building for a long time just for the sake of doing it. I had a shop that talked me into making, I think it was 8 bags and then a number of bracelets that goes with each of the 8 bags. It was a pretty big endeavor. I was so happy when the whole thing was over. Yeah, right. There was some silent videos, streaming or otherwise, I can't remember how, of a bag I did that was all in time lapse. It was pretty crazy. You could see episodes of Doctor Who in the background as I was working on it. But yeah, as far as like actually trying to teach some of the other things, that sort of didn't quite happen yet, I guess. Might have been. Yep. Yeah, I remember doing that one. That was fun. Yep. Yes, I did. Kind of a strange flex. Like I can make something crazy like this. So anybody that doesn't remember what kind of a pattern we're kind of going in here, I know it just looks like a lot of candy stripe going on, but uh, the big stripe started 10, 9, and now it's down to 8. And the other side is going 2, 3, and the next one will go 4. So they're changing sizes as we do ours. Has it really been five? It was 5 years ago? I know I have over like 900 videos, but it's still, all that still kind of blows my mind. Get the cool shoe shine. Right. I I just had an instance that was hilarious. Somebody was like, "Holy crap, that was your actual name. You're actually Kevin." Like, because they only ever knew the posts that I did, or they're like Instagram or whatever else. They only ever seen AKAAWOL. and they just discovered that I actually have a name, which was absolutely wow. I thought that was absolutely awesome. It was pretty hilarious. Like, oh, he's got a name. And it was because they saw the project I made and they're like, oh, that can't be by just anybody. That's got to be that one dude. And it's also funny. I get a lot of people are like, oh, I saw the picture and then I realized, oh, it's just Kevin or oh, it's just AWOL. And it's like, come on. Like now my projects are like so expected that it's like, well, if it's AWOL and it's not, you know, more than 5 foot in size, I have no idea, man. That's what's. It was funny. It was on a Facebook post. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to try some various fancy candy ideas, see what other people were coming up with for it. Yeah, that totally bombed. Right. He's a normal person. Get out. Right. Six. I got strings stretched out all over the place. Right. So yeah, so fancy candy was the idea that you have a candy stripe bracelet, but you change up bits in the middle where you see where the underlying strings poke through and it makes you could do a basic straight stripe down the middle. I did ones where it got wider and then back to narrow again. So it's the candy stripe pattern, but like on steroids or changed up to make it more difficult and more alluring. I did a whole series on it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So the idea was that you can really bring together a very simple pattern into something mind blowing. Like right now, I'm using a candy stripe with, you know, kind of twisting things around to make it kind of interesting. Yeah, I kind of wanted people to create their own. Like I gave them a template and was like, have at it. And nobody wanted to do that kind of stuff. And the funny thing is sometimes some of those patterns can look so beautiful, and yet, like you seldomly see anybody trying to make them. Right. Oh wow. Hey, just string things. Was that 2 years ago? See, now I'm hit with like another thing. Like I remember when you went down the stairs and like that was a big thing. And 2 years already. Holy smokes. I was like, it didn't come up on the screen. Then it came up like, oh yeah, that's it. I have automatic triggers to like make stuff come up. Hey, speaking of this week, it's the hangout tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. New month. New month
It's
means
also
that we get the
it's also Easter though. Is anybody going to be even available?
yeah, that's a good point. Does it give me just a minute of your time tonight? We go out here to have some fun. Let it rip. Let me see your body language, baby. What you done? You got me so anxious. We both are here to have some fun. So let it rip. Let it rip, baby. Right on, right on. Well, now that we got a bunch of people here, I can finally tell my favorite joke for this time of year. What do you call an anesthetized rabbit? The ether bunny. I think one of my favorite jokes. It's right up there with what did the fish say when it hit a wall? Damn. I know, right? My favorite joke for this time of year. Yeah, they are. And you could keep falling down them indefinitely, right? Like if you're on the up elevator, your escalator, and you're falling, it's just kind of a slow tumble. Be there all day. Ah. Ladies tell instead. Right. Yeah, I've seen the signs for the Crocs one. If somebody gets a nickname, like swear to God, that would make that stick forever. Yeah, the system in America is terrible. Over here in Singapore, court cases come up really quick. Don't know how they do it, but they're super efficient. Yes. You have no idea how difficult it is for me to repeat anything I say because it really, there is no filter and I have no memory of anything that comes out of my mouth. So somebody's going to have to tell me what I was talking about. And maybe there might be a chance that oh no. Sorry about the ads, by the way. Uh, Heaven Unfiltered. That's kind of awesome. It could be my podcast. Right. I put it to be like not the lowest setting, but like next to lowest setting. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, that feels legit. It can't be that valuable if we've all forgotten it. Oh, now that we have like more than just minute here, um, for my I'm planning on trying to do so like more complicated bags, kind of in between the short bracelets. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to like actually make them for like November, December, way out into the future, so that way I can put like part one, part two, part three, have all these things together, kind of like how I did the ornaments. But I kind of want your guys's opinion as to like what kind of uh like bags or whatever you want me to try to make. Yeah. So yeah, so if String Things or Rainbow have any ideas of bags that they want to see, like one of the things like my new craft has suggested is like the how I did the flap over Mandy's round bag. She'd like to see how that's actually created. So that's relatively easy. I can make a bag with that. But if you guys have like any other creative ideas you want to see maybe come into fruition, let me know. Could be done. Yes, a scarf could be made. I made a guitar strap, so that's about the length of a scarf. I made two of them actually, and yeah. They drank the Kool-Aid because they didn't have the floss. Oh, that's tragic. Didn't have the thing clipped down. It just suddenly came flying at me. I wonder how hard it would be to leave yourself a gap on the edge of a bracelet just big enough to be able to get some like knitting needles into it so that you could run essentially a bracelet down but then knit onto the sides of it so that way the two sides were like something that could be made much, much, much faster. I bet you it could be done. Yeah, we did. It was like the planets aligned inside of a restaurant because we were all like in a long ass straight fucking row across these tables. I'm sure that anybody like really paying attention to the room was like, what the hell is up with that? Like, I like turn around, there's like 4 more bald guys behind me. Oh man. Yeah, that's right. That was the same day that a person that we were there with told a very elaborate story, a kind of story where like you just know the details because you could picture this all happening in your head. They spoke of how they looked up, they saw their significant other, went, "Ooh, he's hot," went back to what they're doing without realizing it was their significant other. Time passed and something similar she was talking about, and I brought up like that time that you saw your significant other but didn't realize. She's like, that never happened to me. And I'm like, after you told that elaborate story to a dude with ADHD, you're going to now tell me this never happened? Like, why did you give us this lengthy story back when? What is? Oh, I was so
she probably had forgotten her own story by then. Also, keep in mind this is the same person who wrote over her own stuff and almost strangled herself.
Oh yeah. Her strangling herself out of stupidity is sort of easy
she might have like starved her brain of oxygen for a couple.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I have not forgotten that instance and how like what the I even remember what building she said it happened at. So, like, how can I remember all the details and you can't when you're the one that told the story? Yeah. Crazy. Okay, I can put the music back on. I had to stop the music. It was just got myself too worked up there for a second. Wow. Yeah, me too. Probably something to that effect. Yeah. It was a very vivid story about a building that I know So like I could picture where it was happening at because we had been there before. I don't know. The whole story sounded very plausible. Oh, hey, check it out. The shop is showing the bracelet that was made from a photo. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that was a fun bracelet. We're almost done completing the big bro. Not bad. We've been working at this for about an hour now. The shorter row shouldn't take very long at all. It is going to the left, so it's not as quite as easy for me, but it's only going to be 4 knots wide, so it's kind of cool. Well, if you got to go, you got to go. It's I understand. It was nice to have you here, though. Direct compensate. Oh, right on. So I assume that went well. Well, improvement is an improvement. So that's good. What is it when you can't read a menu or see little fine print? Is that farsighted or nearsighted?
When you can't what?
Read menus or small print or stuff, whatever I have.
You're
Am I
farsighted.
farsighted or is that farsighted?
Yes, you are farsighted.
Old man stuff. Oh, that's all the motivation I need to have the hangout for tomorrow. Just string things. I want to hear stories. Yeah, that's what I got then. That's why you see me wearing glasses. I don't need them for like just going out and being around the town, but I have to carry a set of glasses with me in case the menus are too small or virtually anything else that's too small. Yikes. So rather than a skewer, may I recommend that you go to a craft store and find a needlepoint needle? Needlepoint needles are not like sewing needles because they're fat. They're like, let's see, it's fatter than a row of these things. I'm gonna guess it's like at least 2 mm wide. I put some string on the end so that way if it falls or whatever, I can easily find it. It's huge because it's got a blunt end to it. It can pick out the knots without damaging the strings, and because it's made out of steel, you can stick it to some magnets. That's how I keep it over here on to the side of me, like easy to find in case I need it.
And it's not so long that you'll skewer your own eye.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and they closed up all the joint fabrics, didn't they? They have like absolutely ruined America. You took away one of the biggest craft stores. You took away Toys R Us. Like, so depressing.
I can't believe that we still have Toys R Us.
Do you remember there was a movie that basically that's the whole premise of what happened to Toys R Us? There was a movie where the guy basically goes in, they take all the stocks, buy up a company, parse it out, and it's worth more in the pieces. And at the end of the movie, like they ended up because they had contracts with the U.S. government to make ships. They decided that he was going to change his ways instead of destroying this family business. They were actually going to go into making ships together. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember the general premise, and that's exactly what happened to Toys R Us. There's the price of their shares had dropped to a low enough amount that somebody actually like got it all together, filed them under bankruptcy, liquidated all the stuff, and sold all the properties and made a whole huge profit. So yeah, it's It was a pretty ugly thing that they did to them. Brutal. I went to a Joanne Fabrics on a day that they were having a sale, and like there are all these different things in there. But there was this fine print that said embroidery floss you could only get like 20 skeins. And like I wanted to talk to a manager to see if I could get around that. And he's running around like a madman. He's absolutely just dying because so many people have come into the store. And I finally get a hold of him and I ask, like, is it this for real? Could I get more? Like, take whatever you want, man. You know, just go for it. So I ended up getting over $100 of embroidery floss when it was on sale for like 5 for $1. My receipt was so long. It was like 15, 16-foot long receipt because they had to scan each and every one of them because of how it takes out that particular color out of inventory for each one. So they couldn't like bulk up or whatever else. It was, and people were like livid behind me, like, because they were having to wait forever for this, you know, my stuff to get ordered out. You know, it was quite the memory of that. Somewhere, I don't, I, if I still have all those old photos of bracelets I made, I might still have the picture of the receipt because I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. I'd never gotten the receipt that long before. Oh. Yeah, it wasn't too entertaining for the people behind me in line though, and they're like yelling at me like pair them up and stuff. Like I had them all grouped up into bracelet ideas. Like I didn't just like ransack the row and grab handsfuls. No, I was actually like, okay, so this 6 color combination is really nice, and like I could do this one in an 8 color thing, and this would be fun for. So I had like all these strings like in the basket, like kinda whatever. Yeah, and it just all turned into one big pile of a bunch of string, which yeah, I never got it back to like whatever, but I made a ton of bracelets with all that. Honestly, we're going to go on a trip here soon, and some of the stuff I'm thinking about bringing along with me include a small camera, like they kind of look like tiny security cameras, um, a laptop, an easel, clips. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering like what is that going to look like. Oh, and then like the thing for the camera that I'm looking for is interesting. It's a magic clamp, makes it so that way you can like clip it down and shift it around and stuff, which is pretty cool. Right. All right, so that row is done. That's awesome. It's really subtle how different the sizes are tapering in, but I think the next couple will kind of make it more obvious. I don't think I want to. I don't want to start on the blue and blue because it might make it hard to notice where the start is. So starting with that gold makes more sense. But this is almost the same shades of blue. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Do 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 do. Ow. Do 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 do. Ow. There we go. This row is 4 long. That's the first one to length. We got some odd colors matching up, which is going to make it kind of a weird sort of look. Makes it look like it's zigzagging when that wasn't the intention. I'm not sure if it's really clear, like that you can see the line coming from the left, like this yellow here came here, and down this way. You can see it more on the right because there are bigger stripes and it kind of lines up or whatever, but the left one is a little bit harder to see. But maybe in a couple more rows, it'll get more obvious. I like these occasional easy projects because one, I don't have to think about it an awful lot. And two, I think it's encouraging that, it's maybe not the pattern you want to try for this, but seeing it done like this kind of lets you know that like you can pretty much substitute any pattern, just create your cylinder. The one thing I can say for this though is I can go around and count how many strings there were and be able to use that to help give me a better educated guess as to what pattern might actually work out for this size, because knowing this is going to fit what I want to do. Yes, the shorter rows are definitely faster. And look at this. I'm like almost where I'm going to have to give it a spin again. No, it actually is on BB. Because Minutecraft put it there, and it's also on friendshipbracelets.net because I put it there. I shall go find a pattern number for you because I can. It is pattern 113902. It's not very big, but it's enough that you could probably, figure out how to make a whole bag off of it. Yep. Yeah, for the only pattern I've ever put into friendshipbracelets.net is a doozy of a pattern. It is no lie. Like that pattern is so sick. I love it. The fact I've just made it in an afternoon because like I had mentioned that I saw this bag at the mall and it kind of gave me some inspiration. I was thinking about messing with it, and my new crafts, do it now. Make it. And like seriously, within 20 minutes, I had a working pattern. Yeah. When it comes to like going over a certain number of strings, I just need a segment to figure out what I'm doing and then just keep mirroring it. Like if you saw how little there was that I put together for that bag, that for the tarot card bag, literally just a couple little rows of where like I did the top flap, but not all the way down. And then a couple rows to show how it was going to come off the side. And the rest I just did in my head. Right. That's why I'm blown away by the fact that Minute Craft couldn't get how the latch goes onto a bag. It's like, come on, you've made a bag yourself. You've made a big old cylinder. How do you not get the idea of being able to attach different pieces onto a bag? Like this thing could have had something to come off the top or whatever. If you bring a bracelet down and then like attach the sides, like, yeah. 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 Yep. And when you just start adding more and more of those together, it looks really cool, even though it's really easy. Wasn't, hang on. All right, let's see if I can paste this in. Will it show it or not? Wait, did it not get the image? There it goes. So that one's basically like chevrons and candy stripes all thrown together, became a bag. Right. And this is how that bag ended. So like that's a decent sized bag, and it's literally just chevrons and candy stripes put all together, making something kind of cool. That's why, like some of them, I want to do in an easier pattern because I kind of feel like I'm at a level of being able to do stuff that's so technical that like it's yeah. But if I went like to where like the patterns that I have done that are like the craziest ones, like the ones where I have to like cross off rows as I do it because they're so complicated, like I think it's just discouraging to a lot of beginners. Uh, yeah, so I can add string. That's like I have actual pages on the the stuff. Yeah, it is pretty neat. Sylvie, there is a way to add string if you run out. And that is why I've been able to build as many big things as I have. Yeah. I'm looking for a pattern for green string. Like that is probably like the worst questions I've ever seen people ask. Or the other one that's a classic that I'm basically avoid now is why is my bracelet so wrong? And when you look at it, you can tell this is a person who's never even mastered a candy stripe, and yet they're trying to do some wicked, difficult pattern that they have no business even being near until you learn how to make a candy stripe. Don't don't go for the ones that you think are pretty. Go for, the simple. Find somebody who's like me who has a website that has easy bracelets. Like, oh my God. Like their bracelet looks like it's a round cylinder when it's supposed to be a flat design. But I've seen the stuff that you make, Sylvie. You're not like a straight up beginner or whatever. Yeah. Right. Seems to have right. So, and I've told the story a lot. I did. I did instantly master this craft because I was only taught how to do one knot. I could only do knots to the right. And made about 50 bracelets that I took to a concert. So, so proud of myself of all these bracelets that I had made. And I had gotten the tension down so they weren't as curly as they had been when I had started. And then I saw other bracelets. It wasn't, and then I tried figuring out like how are they making all these really cool bracelets or whatever. And shortly after that, I had the epiphany of if you tie the knot backwards, you could get a chevron. Right. But yeah, I was making tiny bracelets and real simple things. I did a whole boatload of like dovetail stuff. Yeah, that's a shame. Me? Sure. It's okay. You can ask questions. uh, One of my first videos was about clipboards. Like for bracelet making stuff. Like that was right. I'm still waiting for Sylvie's question. Don't get sidetracked.
You're afraid she'll forget and then you'll be left wondering?
Yes. I'm intrigued. It was a personal question that maybe isn't as personal one.
I see where this is going.
So why am I doing a girly thing? Is that where this is going? Because my ADHD brain got dopamine from making little tiny things that I could do in a few hours.
No, that doesn't answer the question.
Oh, where's the question going then?
It's kind of, but that's not how you got into it. You could be doing boy things with to get the dopamine hits.
Yeah, but
Did the question disappear?
I wonder if there was a word or something that got it. Wait, you're a mod, honey. Do you see anything?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. No. That's weird.
That is weird. So yeah, why am I doing a girly thing? That's what I thought. Well, having a penis doesn't make it any easier. It's not like
no. That's not why she's asking.
You're doing a girly thing. Am I not?
She's just said, I'm not asking why you're doing a girly thing.
Oh. So yeah, I think swear words are black. Hang on, what was string things? So dumb, so right. Oh right. No. People. So like I said, like when I was doing this, like I said, I made about 50 bracelets. That probably those first 50 bracelets were probably in the first couple of weeks of having learned how to do this. And it didn't take long before I started to do dovetails, which, in case you don't know what that looks like, this is roughly a dovetail. It's a real super easy thing. Once you figure out chevrons, this like the same bracelet where I first discovered chevrons, I flipped the diamond over by doing this and then realized I could keep making these things. I didn't know that there'd be a name for it or whatever else. We didn't have internet or whatever. But it didn't take long before I was doing better and better and better stuff. And so the people who liked those kind of bracelets, the hippies and stuff that liked the bracelets, knew that I was on track for making some of the best bracelets that they had ever seen. And so rather than thinking it was a girly thing, they were thinking that I was the string master, this string extraordinaire. I guess I can show my old driver's license. That's what it used to look like. Kind of a whole different thing back then.
I think it's partly like the kind of places you hung out in, and you know, and there wasn't internet then. There wasn't the toxic.
No, and and there might have been times where somebody might have whatever, and I would have just let that run off me. Like I carry a fanny pack because I can't keep things in my back pockets because sitting down or whatever, it causes my spine to twist and I have a ruptured disc. So I have a fanny pack. Like I got teased for that more than I've ever gotten teased for bracelets. And I enjoy making bracelets far too much to care what anybody seems to think about it. I'm glad I didn't disappoint there. Now, I can say that there is a number of people who have followed me either on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever that was like, oh, thank God they finally found another guy doing the artwork. That there's, that wherever they live, like one example I know for sure was Indonesia, um, feeling that there's so few people that are like represented, in the bracelet making, whatever, that are men. But then like they see the stuff that I build and they're like, woof. Yeah, there has been a few. So it's a very different vibe here in Singapore. Like when I was in Detroit, I could take a clipboard, set it on my lap, and start making bracelets in the heart of the city with like tons of people around. Like they had these free open concerts, ton of people around. People would come by and be like, "Oh, what are you making? Oh, isn't that nice?" Strike up conversations, possibly buy a bracelet. Here in Singapore, I see people looking and checking it out, but he's just like, "Hey, come on over. You can take a look. I don't bite." And they're like, "No, no, no, run away!" Like really freaked out by like talking to strangers. Like they really take the whole "you don't talk to strangers" things like a little too serious. I didn't even have that many tattoos back then. Oh no. Oh, that like when I was making bracelets in Detroit, people would approach me and like, check out whatever I was making and stuff. And we were like really excited by the whole thing. But here in Singapore, people are way more closed off and don't approach strangers or anything. It's really weird. Yeah, like there was free concerts in Detroit during the spring through autumn, down at Hart Plaza in the heart of the city. That is kind of nice. No worries. I like these Saturday streams, not just because it's a very public thing or whatever, but the interactions and that kind of stuff I think is a lot of fun. As well as like I kind of play my earlier part of the day a little bit low key. Don't try to overdo anything. I basically, like today, I worked on like 3 web pages, which includes taking the photos of the bracelets and just a lot of like petty little things that are a lot of work, and then save up my energy for the evening. Last week, I think everybody missed out on the fact that I was still motivated from Saturday. I ended up doing a 4-hour stream on Sunday where I worked on that little pouch thing. And yeah, it was like 4 hours of just going at it. It was crazy. Yeah, still have a ways to go. Yeah. But I couldn't genuinely want anything more than to engage the person. If you're obviously curious enough that you're staring, like I want to hear what's in your mind. Like, do you think this is cool? Do you think it's weird? Do you like honestly?
The other possibility is that if they aren't comfortable in English, then you've just freaked them out.
That's true. That's a possibility.
Because it's typically the older generations that will like kind of freak out.
Right. Oh, did I tell you guys this week I got a new camera? Really super excited. Got a new camera to be able to do this bracelet stuff with, because I don't want to like take this camera off of where it is and bring it with me. But there's a possibility that Mandy will get a new laptop and I will get her old one. And so what I want to do is I want to make my whole process portable, like to be able to throw it into a backpack, take it down to like the East Coast Park or something, sit at a picnic table, set up my whole little setup with the camera and the computer and everything, and record making bracelets with occasional shots cutting out to like the beach and the boats and stuff. So I'm really stoked about the possibility of being able to do this stuff on the go. And then we have a trip planned in May. Is it May?
Mm-hmm.
We have a trip planned end of May. And it's possible that I might bring some bracelet stuff along to work on. And so like being able to record is sort of really exciting for me. Hmm. I'll show you something I've got. So this is a cutting board. Nice and long, kind of too long for me to show into the camera. Got this big old clip here. I've attached one of the needles to it, but I don't like the needle just kind of bouncing around. So I've put two very strong, those little strong magnets. I drilled holes, put them in there, but they wouldn't stay in there until I put a washer and a screw into it. So now my needle sticks to the little magnets there. I am also kind of shaved off a little bit of the side, put a ruler into the side of it. And this round part can sit in between my thighs and allows it to just kind of lean forward, and I can make bracelets off of it. The clip works to hold everything in place. Had this thing for about 5 years now. It's got a lot of marks and stuff from my fingernails and from the clips and everything. But yeah, you don't need to go super fancy. This was a very inexpensive cutting board. We picked it up in Indonesia. Right. Yeah, your mermaid bag probably needs an easel and a desk. Cool. Yeah, I think that's the same board that I had in that video about having clipboards and how handy it is. And in the video, I showed that I had a clip-on light, like a USB charged light that I've stuck on there. So that way, when we were over at our friend's house watching their dog, that their lighting in the house wasn't like really good for making bracelets. So I had my own like portable light set up for it. And it just clips onto the board itself. Yeah. So for me, what made me sold on that board was I kind of gauged the length of it because I want it to be a certain length from my lap upwards, whether I'm like sitting just like cross-legged, leaning against a tree, or if I'm sitting in a house and I'm like leaning it up against a table. I want it to be a certain distance away from me. So that way, like where I'm working is in that ideal spot. And that board was long enough to make that actually work out. So yeah, mind you, it was cheap, and as a result of it being cheap, like the edges were not perfect, so I had to like take some sandpaper and kind of right, but so I had to take sandpaper and like get the edges more beveled because otherwise the string would kind of catch funny. But after that, it was fine. It's been fine ever since. But yeah, it was cheaply put together. I don't know what the exchange rate was, but I can almost bet that the whole board itself was probably less than $10. So yeah, um, yeah, finding something like that totally works awesome. And the magnet trick, that was super awesome. And the fact that the needle is actually attached to the clip, that's also kind of cool too, because then it can't go too far. If you accidentally bump it and comes off or whatever, it's not getting too far away. Nope, probably not. Not like a cutting board. Cutting board is meant to be abused, right? It's surprisingly like you can probably go to like so many different kinds of places and find it. Like no, like you would have to 3D print thick as you know what to get it. Yeah. And cutting boards come in all kinds of range of sizes. And you can get some really pretty wood, like something that's, you know, looks kind of sharp. You can get the stain and then put what's the black or whatever, I guess it's called, that you put on wood to protect it.
Should I?
Yeah. Black is one. There's another one too. I can't think what the other one is. Oh no. Those are porous and stuff. Right. Yep. Funny story. When I was a kid, and what probably led to my whole love of playing with string was my mom used to take a wooden spool and hammer 4 nails into it and then give me a ball of scrap yarn and a crochet hook. And I would just go to town making this thick sort of rope thing out of the yarn. It's sort of like the same principle as those plastic hat looms things, except for it was tiny. A micro? Wait, is it's just string things fine? Huh.
Macrame.
Yeah, right. Those, they're like corkish. Nine, 8. So the longer this thing gets, the more pleased I am with it. Just string things in America. Do they have a Muji store? Do they have Muji in America?
They do.
Okay, do
Muji
they have
is
a
in America,
Muji?
just about location.
Because there's another thing that you could get that would work. Hang on. Check out this clipboard. It's got a kind of a crappy springy clip that's pretty strong, but it doesn't lay flat. But it opens up. I always thought this would come in handy. But yeah. Uh, is it MUJI?
JI.
MUJI. It's like cool Japanese stuff. Haven't seen that one.
Yes, you have.
I have.
Minecraft sent a whole bunch of potential bag styles. It's one of those.
Does it? Does it look like a shell?
Yes.
Why is my brain not?
It's just earlier today.
Right. Yeah, mine's big enough they can hold like the full size pieces of paper in it. And it's totally pretty cool. And I could put big clips on it. Oh, that's supposed to be in. I thought it was just a round bag. I think it's supposed to be like a. Okay, I guess I sort of see the nautical thing. I couldn't believe that Minute didn't know that you had a round bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like that round bag, I was so proud of that thing. All right. So this was 10, 9, 8. The next row is 7. So let's start with this pink and blue. The round one, it's I did a video about bag bases. Something like it's all about the base or something. So it's there. It was kind of before the tutorial era of YouTube for me. So I kind of went over kind of what went into it. I've made 2 round bags so far. One was really big. I went absolutely crazy on this the huge one. Mandy's bag was kind of interesting because in order to help keep it shaped, it had embroidery hoops, like the wooden hoop inside of it, and that helped me to keep it shaped while I was working on creating the pattern that went onto the inside of it. And then I basically had to break the wooden rings out of the inside of the bag to get them back out. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, hang on. Let's see if I can find. There's a video to watch after the stream's over. That's the that's got the round bag in it. Yeah, we're definitely not going to get this road done tonight. We've got a little more than a half an hour left, and I'm just starting on this bigger one. That's okay. Still want to see how far we can get. There we go. That's 7. Right. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Yeah. Wow. If you don't mind, we can boogie on down. Boogie on down. Boogie on down. Suddenly got an LOL. I don't know if there's some lag or something. I'm suddenly very confused because I was very quietly concentrating over here. Did I do something? Yes. Nope. If the dopamine is flowing, there is a strong urge to not let it stop. And let's keep doing what we're doing or whatever it is. If we're creative, yeah. But then again, my flavor includes manic depression. So if I'm in a state of manic, yeah, trying to sleep is like really difficult. I just knew too much. Does that make me cry? Does that make me cry? Make me cry. Oh, okay. Her lucid dream, right on. Gotcha. There. Right, right. I recently had an instance where I recorded 3 pattern videos and a make a bracelet video all in the same day. And like, I was really contemplating after having done the 3 pattern videos, like, do I still want to go on? Like, yeah, I'm feeling really good. Got the whole other bracelet made, rendered it out in the sped up version, then did the voiceover, got all this stuff done in one day. And so like the next 2 days, I just took it easy and did just a makeup bracelet and publish those things, which like, right, right. So yeah, like there's no way I could have maintained that kind of level, but I used the progress I'd gotten to be able to like to take the next couple days kind of easy, and it's still all averaged out to being very productive. And sometimes it works if there's body doubling, which is basically somebody kind of looking over your shoulder while you're doing it. There's been a couple times where I've been streaming like on a Tuesday or Thursday, and if like Minute Craft joins in and just kind of talks to me about what I'm doing or whatever, she'll say something like, "Yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to start another bracelet." Yeah, yeah, do it, do it. Um, it somehow gets me more motivated, and I get more things done than if I was just in the office by myself. So iHerb, the company that sends you directly, drugstore stuff directly to your house through, shipping or whatever. There is this stuff. It's called leg cramp, which is the dumbest name for something that's so awesome. Um, leg cramp. It's got these little. I think I have some nearby. See, it says leg cramp. You pop these little things out. Um, it's magnesium, and when you're having really bad leg cramps, or I sometimes get cramps in my hand, take that, stick it under your tongue, and within minutes, the cramps go away for the most part. Like I've had days where it was like so bad that I had to take more than one. but genuinely, it really helps. Can't recommend it enough. Right. This stuff just sort of breaks up and dissolves. There's nothing weird about it. Doesn't taste bad or anything. Just works really well. I have considered making a second version of this that that I could create a big black box running down it so it looked like there was a redacted section. But it's like, how many of these things do I really need? At least kind of surprised at how far we're getting along with this row. It's only one less than the row before it. It's coming together kind of quick. Guys got quiet and suddenly my my concentration went right into just nailing out these rows. Like, holy smokes. I can talk and still work. My brain's now trying to think what was the confrontation. I'm sure I was paying attention earlier, but I probably lost track of something. Right on, Sylvie. I understand. Oh, understood. more stuff we can talk about tomorrow when you show up for the hangout. Yeah, same. I didn't realize there was one either. Ah, strings. Yeah, I got almost halfway around. We got a few more minutes left. I can do a little bit more. Okay, the strings getting tangled up around each other. Uh, it sounds like it, really. I'm just. Oh, wow. It sounds like somebody to avoid. Did you guys hear SpongeBob? Why did
Nope.
that? Huh. All right. Finish up this row. And we are going to call it a night. It has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for that. Tomorrow is the hangout. If anybody wants to hang out, I would definitely recommend it. It sounds like Just String Things is going to give us lots of juicy tea. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry about the ads. Before I go, I want a quick shout out to all the YouTube members who make it possible. You guys helped me to buy that camera to be able to make this whole thing portable, and possibly I can spend some time in creative things and show you guys around Singapore a bit. Should be kind of fun if it works out like I think. Um, um, we'll be back working on this project next Saturday. Anything else, Peter? That's about it, right? Okay, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.
Mm.
Ooh.